Technology was really tripping. Appreciate y'all for being here. And before we start, today's show is really just out. This is our third anniversary at Tbp Radio, and let's get into the intro. Then we jump right into it. All right, welcome back. Yeah, 3 years, 3 long years. When we first started TBP Radio, we was actually under the umbrella of UIT Radio. So shouts out to Zoe over there at UIT Radio. He pushed down to Austin now, but still carry on with him. Still call, still see how each other is doing, and definitely love that relationship and connection that we have from that perspective. But as we started in that area, we began to gain traction, doing different interviews, communicating with people. Like I think the first show was probably with now Dr. Rodney Duckett, and then it went from Rodney Duckett to Miss Aya Nelly. We had Miss Rhonda Brown. We had Miss Nisi Crawford. We just had a plethora of people coming in, able to bless the show with their presence, able to communicate about their gifts and talents, and even about some even local events. So we've grown considerably. We've learned from a lot of people. Like when we talked about credit restoration and credit repair, when we had Miss Rosalind Hillary on the show, she really dropped jewels. She's always dropping jewels when it comes to credit and things of that nature. So just remember the old shows that we had when we brought people in that was communicating about what we're doing, and just figuring out, or first of all, going back when I was like, okay, I want to start TVP Radio. Let me go back a little bit more. Now, I remember when I sat down with one of the like original mentors that I had here in the city, Mr. Chemo Seven, and I was like, okay. He was like, well, what do you want to do? So we were actually eating at Hooters at the time, and I pulled out the napkin and I began to draw my circles and to figure out what do I want to do with Texas Black Pages. And one of the things that came out was I want to do a radio, with it and try to create something with it as well. So I was like, okay, so who is going to help me pull this vision out of my head and to create it into its physical form? So I reached out to none other than the great Miss Secret Odom. She's a whiz. She's definitely behind the scenes person, and she's been a real good asset to TBP Radio. And then she was like, okay, so you need a co-host. I was like, well, who's going to be the co-host? She was like, well, who do you have in mind? I was like, what about so-and-so? She was like, she already have something going on. I was like, what about so-and-so? She was like, I don't know about him. So I was like, okay, let me see. There's someone that I know that, she's good. I've seen her speak. I've been around her. I like her energy. And then we had reached out to Miss Kimberly Robinson, and I don't know if she said, let me think about it, let me pray on it, whatever it is. She was like, oh yeah, cool. Okay. That's just how her spirit is. And just come to find out, she transitioned and she became the Aries queen. I'm an Aries, she's an Aries. So the beautiful thing about it is we don't have to always agree about a certain thing or about a certain subject. That's what make us mesh. And that's what allowed us to gel, because she was always bringing her side of the vision to it, and we would begin to communicate in. And I always, we were trying to figure things out. Like I ain't gonna lie, my vision is good, but not always good. And I remember our transition. And for those that have been with us for a long time, you can definitely see the transition. Everything from the camera, everything from the microphone, everything from, the setup. I remember, of course, we started on the radio over there where Blessed Properties is. And then we moved over to the village, and we was using a cell phone. And then we had a TV, and using the TV as the monitor. And I was about blind. I couldn't see that far because Secret would pull a slide on Kim and like, okay, Ronnie, for real. And then Kim started reading it and just began to use, that type of energy. And we went back and forth. But all in all, I couldn't have done it without Miss Secret Odom. I know I tell her a lot, all the time. I appreciate you, but I really do. You're there. You're a patient. I can sometimes not be the easiest person to communicate with. I can sometimes not be as clear in my delivery, but you always absorb the delivery that I'm giving to you and allow just me to be me. And then you say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but how about this? And and it works out. And Kim the same way. She'll take now. Sometimes will laugh and play, we'll clown on the set and on the show and stuff like that. But Kim, I couldn't have done it without you. You're a rock. You're always someone who is always spiritually in tune with what's going on, and just begin to grow and begin to prosper. TBP Radio would not be what it is right now if it wasn't for Miss Kimberly Robinson or Miss Aries Queen or Miss Secret Odom. And we've done plenty of shows, even when we've done things in the community. When the Scotty Reed situation that happened, who do they call? They called TBP Radio to come over there. We set up the cell phone, we set up the microphone, and we broadcast out to our community to let our community know what's going on. Very raw and uncut, without any of the media jargon and the edits and the snippets or any of that stuff. You just seeing exactly and broadcasted out what's going on. And that's what we're doing. I look forward to what's next. What's next? I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know what's next. But I know where we're going is probably in a process of developing, a network or things of that nature, to where I know there are people out there that would like to have their own show or things of that nature, and pull you in and allow you to to develop under the umbrella. And as we begin to transition, then we pulled in our community, and our community has begun to develop with Miss Anjanette Wilkerson. She's really taken on that role, and she's been doing a phenomenal job in pulling in a lot of our city officials and pulling in a lot of our school board members and people that are looking to get their word out from a community perspective. Miss Anjanette has really been on it. So Miss Anjanette, from me to you, I appreciate you, and I appreciate the things that you've done, and I appreciate the things that you're doing and the things that you're about to do. That lady thinks of phenomenal shows, and her energy and just her laugh is very infectious. Um, if you know Miss Anjanette and her laugh, it's like her laugh makes you want to laugh. You might not think it's funny, but just hearing her laugh is going to make you laugh. But I appreciate the shows that she's done and brought the shows in and continue to bring the shows. And then we transition. And then we have a culture, and that was done by Lady Q. And she brought in a lot of other authors that are written books and want to get their book out. We've had people come all the way from Ohio to tap in because they wanted to get their word out into this community. And she's pulled other authors in and allow those authors to have a platform to talk about their book, like a virtual book introduction to the people, and just done a lot of good things. So shouts out to you, Lady Q, for being there and being a part of the TBP family. So I'm going to look, man. Yeah. Miss Kimberly said a Holy Trinity, the mind, the body, and the spirit. And it's just been good, all the way around. So I'm not going to keep y'all long. I just wanted to get on. Now, according to the Facebook, world, the minimum you should be when you go live. So I'm going to give y'all a little nugget. The minimum you should be when you go live is 3 minutes. Don't do anything under 3 minutes. 3 minutes or more is where you want to go, so you can receive credit for people watching your live. 3 minutes or more. So if you give all your good stuff in the first 3 minutes, or you give a little bit here, save a little bit, and then after your 3 minutes, then you give, your conclusion and stuff like that, you still keep the audience there. So I want to make sure at least 3 minutes in to get a little bit of credit for watching the live. So I thank you guys for being here. Like I always ask, I want to know where you're viewing from. If you're in Heights, just drop Harker Heights. If you're in Temple, put Temple. If you're outside of Texas. Put the city and the state so we can know where you're viewing from. But again, I'm not going to stay long. I just wanted to come in and give my appreciation to the people that support me. Give my appreciation to the individuals that allow me to do what I do. Allow me to be the visionary. Allow me to connect with other frequencies, like Kim will say. When you connect with frequencies, and you have to be very cognitive about the frequency, just so you know how to manage your space and not allowing other people's frequency to mess yours up, and doing that as well. So yeah, I think that's it. Hey, if you don't have anything for me, I thank you for being here. I thank you for watching over 3 minutes of this live. And I want you guys to be blessed. And like the Aries Queen would always say, she'll say, stay woke. Peace.